Hello, hello. It's been forever. I hope everybody is well. Hello, Blossom. Hello, Happy Place Crafting. I want to say your name is Beth, but if I'm wrong, just yell at me. And hello, Stamper Girl was here earlier. She's doing her Sipping in the New Year series, which is in the same time slot. So I will have to catch up with her later. What else? Oh, we have so much Happy Mail. This is actually birthday Happy Mail, but I swear we're going to do an actual project. Hey, Norma, how are you? Everybody is here, which makes me quite happy. It's great seeing you guys. For those who weren't following all my community posts, basically I wound up having like a sinus thing for a week and a half. Well, it started as a cough and turned into a sinus thing. And oh my goodness, all the things. Oh, that's the wrong way around. Let's not do that. We don't need to dox my address today. But anyway, it's great to see you guys. I hope everybody has been well. Lennox is around camera north. North? I don't know. Whatever. He'll be in frame. There we go. We've seen our pause. He always likes to hang out with us all. There are some programming notes I should tell you. Oh, so after this stream will redirect to Shanna's at what I would call 7 o'clock and she would call 8 o'clock, depending on your time zone. And then Jana is not live tonight, but Elizabeth is going to do a bonus stream. And I think it might have some Crafty Stamp Co. things, but we'll see. Anyway, but I thought we could look at some birthday cards because I last streamed on my birthday, but I saved all my birthday cards because my folks didn't really have celebrations this year because my dad had a medical issue and they were dealing with that at the time. Anyway, so I let them open some of the birthday cards because they both really like them. And how did you two, Blossom? It's funny. I actually oh yeah, it's a funny story. So this is a hoodie that was made by a friend's brand. He no longer makes clothing. Well, no longer prints clothing because he wound up having a kid, and that was fairly time consuming. But the funny part is these are all a misprint. The original on these, you can see this is like it's not quite a cardinal red and it's not quite a pink, but it's somewhere in there and it's definitely light. Anyway, they were supposed to be like, Christmas red, but they weren't. But I thought they were great anyway. It was all kind of funny. Oh, hey, Pam. Welcome, welcome. So I think those are all the programming notes for tonight. This week, I'm not sure what things are going to be. I'm not planning to go live Monday. I might do something later in the week because basically I was going to go live with Lala tomorrow morning, but that's not happening because I wound up having to work Monday and Tuesday. So anyway, that's too bad. I'm hopefully I can catch up with her later on in her Advent series because her Advent series runs after Christmas. And yeah, I feel like this isn't the first year that I wound up getting ill and missing part of Advent, but thought we would take a look at some of these. Some cute little, just because some of these cards are really fabulous. And then I'll show you the relatively quick project. So I think we can, it's one it's kind of lifted from Biddy Penny, but it's pretty cool. Cool washi tape and really fun happy birthday with some cool beach ephemera. And this is cool. So she actually put in, I'm not sure if this is pattern paper or what, but it's very cool. It's a neat way to do sort of an insert, obviously, so you could reuse the card if you want. But from one of the Craft Roulette friends, if you are not a regular viewer of Craft Roulette, but are a casual viewer, you should totally watch the one from yesterday because it has Mary Claus, who looks a lot like the regular host, and a lot of really funny skit stuff. This one is from my aunt. It is a shoebox card, and I just love. I love cat cards, so I was a big fan of it. So that was from, and my parents' card is in here as well. But there's some, but I really like these. I mean, I don't know. I love all cards, so I'm kind of a fan. But in deference to everybody, I promise this isn't just like a card showcase because there's already a show for that. But we might wind up doing that for some of the Christmas cards because I've got a bunch of Christmas cards, and I don't know if we'll necessarily have streams to do them before Christmas. Hey, Gloria. It's hilarious. Yeah, Mary Gary is fabulous. Mary Gary had a distinctly, I'll say, Western Canadian accent, who may or may not be related to crafters we know and love. But this one I thought was particularly cool. Like, these are all little stamps, obviously, that were die cut, or potentially, I don't know, these may have been just cut out of pattern paper, but I love it because it's a really cool collage technique. Because, like, you don't notice it right away, but then you kind of tilt it to the side and you're like, oh, wait, that's not paper. Thought this one was really, really interesting. The whole thing is popped up on foam. And then we have another note from another Craft Roulette person. Very cool. This, I think, was one of the standouts just because, like, I don't know. You'll see in our project tonight, I usually use pattern paper for, like, everything. So it's always neat seeing differing background techniques. The other thing we might do, oh, this is cool. If the cat would simmer. Could you not mess with the light? Thank you. Yes, hi. I think you forgot how to, like, be in the area that's not interfering. But this is on a wobbler. Really cute, really straightforward birthday card, right? And this is a design you could use for almost anything because you can just put your focal point and your sentiment on a wobbler and then it wobbles. It's really kind of cool. I don't know. These are like the cards that are a fidget toy, but let me see. And also with a very cute from Quasi Kitty, if you're familiar with her. You probably are if you watch Craft Roulette because there are, I believe. No, I'm wrong. I was going to say, I know there is at least one of these came from one of the fabulous Craft Roulette people who actually is in Wisconsin, who isn't me. This one was cool because it was a good reuse, and we might come back to this later, of like some 12 by 12 thin paper. It might actually be gift wrap, but like the custom envelope definitely gives it. Let me come with a happy birthday stamp. But the custom envelope really adds something. And the card here, this is another design I like a lot because it's a good way to do like layered stamping without having it be a whole pain, because basically you put down your ink blend, right? And then you can sort of stamp your other elements. But if you do these silhouette stamps, you're not going to have to worry about like colors bleeding and whatnot. Hey, Shanna, how are you? Welcome. We are running through birthday cards because that's about as up to date as I am. Oops. I actually have one in front of that one. Goodness. And if you sent me a birthday card or a Christmas card or a card ever, thank you very much. I just love them so very much. So it is pretty cool. And this is also a great one. So like, okay, so you have your sort of your oxide ink blendy thingy, but then you just use a big die cut, an intricate die cut or cover plate, and it really, really elevates it. I mean, like you look at this and you say, this is a fancy card, and you know, these would be pretty easy to produce. Yeah, it's the cat. The cat has reprised his role as desk accessory. Yeah, it's the cat's show. Except his birthday is in June, so these can't really be his birthday cards. But you know, my other cat is milling around near my feet as well. The cat you don't see much, Kaiser, my black cat. If you have seen him in the past, there's another craft roulette one. Oh, and this one was super neat too. This was a really interesting take on like a masculine card, which I liked a lot, obviously. Um, but you could do this for anybody. I thought the idea of birthday, but not in like, you know, usually yellows and pinks and whatever. I thought that was a really interesting take. For this one is from Patty Back. Let's celebrate and make a wish. Nice inside sentiment. The other one, the thing under here, I think has an address on it. Let us be careful. I think everything else doesn't. Okay. And then this is a cool one too. We have a very Floridian birthday card. I love the Hawaiian shirt on the snowman in the parrot. For our friend Gloria, different a Gloria D, not a Gloria L, but very cool. And then of course it says happy birthday under this. I like the trend in reusability of cards though. I need to do that for my Christmas cards since I have to send out. Well, okay. So I've sent out 2 Christmas cards to date, but more are coming. I actually have a bunch that are left over from the fair. And so those I need to just figure out how many I have and then mail them. Actually, I need to do a master list of everyone I need to mail cards to, print address labels, mail all the ones I have, and then figure out what I need to make next week. But anyway, it's a process. Don't get sick around the holidays. I don't recommend it. You get onto this like weird alternate timeline of like, oh my goodness, a shaker. Look at these cool, like these are really blingy shaker beds. I think this is a Scrappy Tail stamp, but I could be wrong. Hope your day is smooth sailing. I'm pretty sure I own the stamp set. Very cool. Love it. This one from our friend Cordelia, who is often here and may catch us on the replay. Very neat. Got some great invention on this too. And this is a stencil, I believe, that I forget if I destash or not. This is a really cool swirly stencil on the inside. Anyway, that one was again. I don't know. I'm saying like all these cards are stand out. I really think they all kind of stand out in their own way. And then this, I believe, is a sheet load of cards. This is actually a Christmas card. Cool use of Rick Rack, I think. These may actually be die cuts, but I think this might be Rick Rack. Anyway. From Telly, one of our good friends. Actually, this looks like it's a ribbon now that it's here by itself. But this, I believe, is from a one of the sheet loads. Because we did a version of this. We used a banner die here, but I believe it's the same basic layout. So there is that. Let me see. We are doing pretty well on time. I think we'll get through all the cards and make a project and not overrun Shanna too much. Be good, be chill. This is we did a bunch of ornament cards. This is a fairly frequent recent sheet load of cards. Oh yeah, to make a cocktail for me. And this one came with a beautiful. This is from Beck and Sam, but it came with a really cute cat, which obviously makes it better. But yeah, no. I'm going to need to like catch up before Elizabeth's stream and try and make a hot toddy. For medicinal reasons, of course. This is another great. I like this one. This one's a great use of embossing plate, obviously, but again, very straightforward. Love the cat, but I like how many of these cards. Oh, this is from my friend Pam, who I think just left. It is. That's too bad. I was one card away. Sorry, Pam. Oh, awesome. See, I thought that's yes, that's what I had. That's what I saw too. It was funny. I was in the Crafty Stamp Co's live when they were doing coloring today, and then I was like saying that what the live schedule was, and then it changed. But we hope that Jana feels better because it's a crappy time of year to be ucky. This one also, I think, is a sheet load, but I really like the use of this butterfly. Is it a stamp? I don't think so. Oh, hello. Could you maybe not be in camera, not be on my cards? Do I need to scoot you off the desk? If I do, you'll be back. Anyway, it's just Linux's stream. We're just here. But this one is really cool. I like it. Great color palette. Friend Linda. But love that. This is really, I really like this color palette. This gray and blue is just fantastic. And not a color palette I would really think to do. Hopefully you are well, Shanna. Oh, good. Well, then I'll just wait because I had picked up some tea accoutrements and actually some more tea. Oh, I have an unopened card here. Well, dang. I have this one is open. These are both open. This is just tricking me. I was like, I could have not opened a card anyway. But this one was another one that has like a really cool color palette. Like these deep blues and teals and the red. It's really interesting. I never think to use red. This is from our one of our craft roulette friends. It came with a little itty bitty Christmas tree with Santa. That will definitely get used. I think this is the Kendra's card challenge sketch with the diamond. I don't think it originally had this, but I think this like double layer band and the diamond. I think this was well, a design I've seen through Kendra. It gets a little tricky. And then my friend Danny, who came in clutch with the perfectly awesome coloring of a whole bunch of Newton's Nook kitties. And I just need to bring this up to the camera a little bit because like the blending on this is fantastic. Hey Bruce, how are you? Welcome. I do like the scalloped edge. I don't know whose die this is. It's really cool though. It's like a scallop edge, but then there's a stitched detail on it as well, which is embossed. Anyway, very cool. Thank you, Danny. She has been a very helpful friend. And then this is the card from my parents, which is so big it doesn't fit in frame with the cat. It says happy birthday with all these cute little eyes. And continues. It's a fun little like alien vibe, which I really like. There's foiling on it too, which is sort of subtle. Ooh, that's a good idea, Blossom. I was just thinking, like, on my way into work tomorrow, I need to go and like get some kind of holiday creamer for coffee, and pray that I get something done. Oh, this one was really dope too. Not sure where the actual bits are from, but it's a very nice gamer card. And I think in my Craft Roulette bio, it says that I like gamer everything, which is true. Photoplay did a really good gamer collection that they released a couple years ago that I think I still have part of, but very cool. Some of these elements are popped up, obviously, but this is pretty much a look you could replicate. Oh, my other cat is here. He's investigating a mailing box, but this one is really neat too. So fabulous cards. Thank you for everyone who sent me a birthday card. If you sent me a Christmas card, that is ongoing. But this is a project I thought we could look at. We're going to make a set of these. But this is a really good way to use. This is a Bitty Penny inspiration, but this is a really good way to use up extra paper. So these were all cut, as you can probably guess, from a single sheet of 12 by 12. You can get 6 card panels out of it, basically. But if you had an extra piece, if you have extra remnants, you can use those. If you have strips, you can use those too. So you can do these a bunch of different ways. But the original set I did was for my mom and my aunt, who hopefully aren't watching my stream because they'll be sort of not surprised. But they always wanted thank you notes for after Christmas because they send them to folks who give them gifts, and like me. But it's very nice too to send to people like if they host events at their house, because obviously like hosting things during the holidays is kind of a pain. And then I did a set with trees. These are all with whatever this is, Cherry Cobbler, which is a cardinal-ish red. This is about an 80-pound card stock. But I thought we could do a pink set for a friend of mine who is a big fan of pink, who really put in a lot of effort with a swap group that is closing out at the end of the year. So I thought it would be fun to first get my camera off auto brightness because it's driving me nuts, but work on a set of those because I wanted to just show you like these come together like super fast, and they're just as you can make them as much as you want, as complicated as you want. And so I picked up this pad last year from Michaels, and it has a lot of Christmas stuff. It's got holographic glitter in it that I think I'm going to stamp this thanks on them. This is from Sunny Lane, but I thought this is almost a card panel, but I thought this thanks was about the right size to you. Anyway, and that would be, you could certainly die cut this stuff as well. But I wanted to look for paper that was kind of Christmassy, but not super Christmassy. Oh, did you? Let me check my messages. Quick. Yes. Oh, the gingerbread? Yeah, so we'll see if you can see this. This is what the gingerbread spice looks like. And Blossom has this, and if you had other people's gingerbread spice, it would probably work. Blossom wants you to know that she uses unflavored cream in her coffee and doesn't use sugar, and then just add this, and this just adds a dusting of the gingerbread, which is probably honestly a lot healthier than whatever they put in like the Coffee Mate stuff, which is probably like some kind of, I'm sure it is something that may or may not be great for you. So there's a lot of papers like this that are pretty Christmassy. And I'm not going to use the blue because I really, did I disturb you with my paper? But I thought it would be, the one I thought would be really good. This one would be fabulous if we were using die cuts because it's like got a ton of holographic glitter. But I won't be able to stamp on it because it's foil basically. But the one I thought would be awesome is this one because it's not super duper Christmassy, but it's as Christmassy as you want it to be. So I will see if I can remove this. There we go. This is also basically non-directional, so actually sorry about that. My camera is kind of blown out at the moment. There we go. That's the real color. So it's very pink. But I think we can stamp it on black on this really well because it's not a treated paper. And Lennox is leaving us after being booped a few times. So let me grab my good trimmer because it's easier. And I love this thing, although I don't use it on camera a lot because it's kind of chunky. But let me see if I am missing you. Yeah, so I think the thing that's cool about the candy, honestly, is like if you want to use it after Christmas, it'll be fine. It'll probably work really nicely for Valentine's Day too because it's the right color. But what I generally do on these is basically I want to cut it. So let me back up and say, if I can find where I put them. Oh, they're back here. Okay. So you can, of course, use your own card bases, but I happened across Hobby Lobby when these things were 50% off. And they have these in craft cream, which is what these are, and white. So these are pretty decent. They're nicely scored, and they're a medium weight card base. So I mean, like, they're not going to be good if you want to do interactive, whatever. But other than that, they're pretty good. We're going to use these. The one thing to be aware of is they're a weird size. They're 4 inches by 5.5. Why they're 4 inches by 5.5, I have no idea. But we're going to run with them. So our measurements on this are going to be a little weird. And then I'm going to cut 2 of these at 5 1/4. And then we're going to actually start cutting stuff at, math today, at 3 3/4 as opposed to 4, which would be sort of normal. These cards you can do landscape or portrait, but I've tended to like them better on landscape. But it's up to you, obviously. So the nice thing about this trimmer is if I stack stuff, I can just cut both of these at once, and then this comes together really zippily. So there we go. And I always kind of reorient these because I've been good at like miscutting the second layer, but this trimmer I've been using for basically all my card base cutting. For last year, after seeing Club Scrap recommend it, and I've been quite impressed. Anyway, so we have our 6 panels, and they're all the same size, and we don't need a trimmer anymore, so I will get rid of that. I will say, of this 12 by 12, we have that left over, so it's pretty paper efficient. Oops. And the reason I really like these is that I often have this issue of like, hey, I have a paper collection and I have like 2 pieces left. So I'm going to grab, hopefully, I didn't figure out where I put it. I'm going to grab my stamp wheel to get a sentiment on these, unless I can't find it, in which case we will worry about the sentiment another time. But I'm pretty sure I have it here somewhere. Here it is. I'm sure you can relate. The only like awful part of holiday crafting is your desk just turns into a, I wonder where that went kind of situation. Oh, the pink paper? I got it at Michael's for $4.99 after Christmas last year. And it's I think it's one of their 48 sheet packs, so it was a killer deal. But I actually bought it as I said, because one of my friends just loves Pink, and I was kind of like, well, I'll make her a mini album out of it. And then that didn't happen because life, but whoops. I just dropped something in somewhere. What did I drop? Oh, the stamp wheel. I might need that. Anyway. But I think this will look, oh yeah, I think that's going to fit really nicely. I'm looking forward to this. And if we do screw any of these up, we're going to stick them on the card last. So this shouldn't be too complicated. And we're doing really well on time. So let me figure out where the top is. And this was actually a Bitty Penny idea for a craft fair project. So if you're a craft fair person, you might like this for that as well. Because basically, if we don't stamp anything on these, we can just adhere these directly to the card bases and package them as a set of note cards, right? I do too. It's really cheerful. I got it mostly because, well, for a specific friend of mine, but I got it also because I really like the holographic glitter is really cool. It's a lot like whatever that product is that Elizabeth has been playing with recently. I believe it is a crafty critta. Please don't destroy things. What are you destroying? You don't need to be looking at that. You be a good boy. I swear, always a cat getting into something. This time it's a cat who doesn't usually get into things. So anyway, the crafty critter has critta. I mispronounced it for a 14th time. Has foil that is clear but has holographic accents. So it really gives you some neat looks. That worked pretty well. I'm going to re-ink it though. This stamp is not new, but this paper probably is going to perform a little bit differently than our usual cardstocks, just because it is pattern paper. The Michaels pattern paper, if you're not used to it, is fairly chunky too, so it is a thirstier paper. Or at least I found it to be. There we go. Let's just hit that in a little bit more because that looks a little. There we go. Perfect. With the stamp wheel, like over time, it does kind of warp a little bit. So you may need to just give it a little bit of extra work. There we go. So we're just gonna do this, and it didn't even come through. This is a pigment ink, so it's gonna do a nice job standing on the surface. So basically, we're just gonna put this on a card and be done, which I think is gonna be quite nice. There we go. We're just gonna do it 5 more times. But I don't know. It's I'm curious how in the Christmas spirit everybody is, and if you've got your Christmas cards done. I obviously haven't, but I've gotten a lot, so I think that people have gotten their card. People who aren't me have gotten their cards done. This paper is taking ink really well. Hey Jim, how are you? Let us know. How are you doing with your cards? I have just and look, perfect stamp first time. So usually, like once the stamp warms up a little bit, like the VersaFine Clair is a really great ink to stamp sentiments right the first time. So it's definitely my go-to. Like if you're going to be block stamping a sentiment I mean, obviously here we're going to get another whack at it if it doesn't work out, but block stamping is not quite as forgiving, at least for me. There are probably people who can stamp multiple times with a block and not have it look like a crazy person. Oh, you have a Yeah, I've always do it reverse now. Like I tend to like do the like address labels first just to kind of understand how many cards I have. Although I don't know. It's sort of weird because I am a member of a bunch of swaps, so like there's sort of the family cards that I definitely need to get out. Yeah, that one. Let's try that again. Again, it's that N that didn't work well, and that's basically because of how the stamp wheel itself is kind of flexed over time. We'll just press there. It's still a little. Let's just hit in. We'll just hit it again. That also happened on our first time, so you know, this actually, I was gonna say maybe the pad needs a little recharging, but given how much ink just came off of it, I think that is not the case. I do use the Nocturne a ton for sentiment, so sometimes it does just get dried out. But it is, there we go. That one's nice. But I do feel that the years I didn't do a craft fair that involved selling Christmas cards, I was usually more ahead of the game because it was kind of like you had a better sense of what you had. Now I have the problem that you might, oops. Let me get that off before it is causing issues for me. Actually, let me I can grab a actual new wet wipe. But now it's always kind of like, what will I have left over? And what will I not have left over? I usually roll over enough that it's never like I need like 100 Christmas cards kind of scenario, but I don't know. I have there's a lot of sheet loads happen during the holidays because it's sort of like a great way to kind of do if you're like, oh, I need 15 cards. We'll do that a second time just because. I do find like if you're in that position, they are great for that. And I'm not pressing down hard. That's one thing with this is a pretty thick or this is a pretty chunky sentiment, obviously, but like generally with photopolymers, you do run the risk of sort of mangling your sentiment if you smash it down. If you're using red rubber, you can basically stand on the thing and it'll be fine because the material itself is so durable. It's not like you're going to put too much weight on it. But anyway, photopolymers, of course, like they're nice because you can actually see through them. There we go. I actually haven't gotten black ink all over myself today, which is kind of a miracle. But I don't know. This is sort of always like, wow, that came out. As you can see, the end still is a little. It tends to take a second coat, which is fine. Really, the end is the part I want to hit here. I don't know. It's these like weeks around the holidays are always a little weird, though. At least for me, because it's like, you feel like you're going to get stuff done, but you don't necessarily get done as much as you think you will. Which I suppose isn't bad. I mean, it's sort of the end of the year anyway, so freaking out over things probably is not super helpful. There we go. That one came out fine. Going to clean off our stamp here. And the one nice thing about diversifying clear is it cleans off really easily because it's a pigment ink. The only really not nice thing about it is it comes in a limited amount of colors, but I just heard of actually wasn't diversifying clear, but it was a Memento color that I heard about it on the Crafty Stamps live. So I kind of want to try getting a lighter color brown because they had suggested that it's a pretty good ink to use for no line coloring. So before we handle our white card bases, it's always good to see if our hands are inky. They don't appear to be, which is great. And the neat thing about these is even though they were pretty inexpensive, they do come with 50 card bases. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's 6. If not, we can grab more. And before I gift these, I will sort of package them with envelopes that match. But I don't know. I always seem like I have more envelopes than I actually need. But then the rest of this is fairly straightforward. As you know, bump inside. I found my original bone folder, which is nice because I'm not sure where the other one went. It may, of course, still be in my. I have like a tackle box that I use when I go to craft shows or crops or whatnot. So I may have not taken it out of there. So we will check that out. But basically, I'm just folding my card bases. I think I'm one short, but that's all right. I sometimes, oh, no, there are 2 here. These are fairly thin, so sometimes it's easy to not know how many you have. And if you store your card bases, like I have a box where I store the vast majority of my pre-cut card bases. You can also, you know, you can always fold these like this and then put them all together. But I'll often leave them in the original package just so that I have the envelopes. So we can see what this is going to look like. So I think that's going to look pretty nice. And you don't think it definitely has some Christmas vibes, but I don't know that you would think it would. If you got it in June, I don't know that you would think it was Christmas. Hey, Shannon, how are you? Hopefully you are well. Least enjoyable. I guess it's looking for stuff that I know I've put somewhere and don't know where it is. So like some of the like I should be organized but I'm not stuff is my least enjoyable part. And oddly like things on the computer, which seems weird because you know I stream all the time, but I don't know. I like making cards physically, so I don't mind using the Cricut or the scan and cut software, but I'd much rather make cards by hand than digitally, I guess. So I'm just gonna try and get this more or less together, and then get the little any extra glue off. And because I used dry adhesive, this is basically done. And we could bling this. I may just leave these flat because I think they work really nice as just sort of an any occasion note card. Well, a thanks occasion, but I say thanks a lot, so you know. And then we're just going to repeat. But yeah, I think the least enjoyable part is when that or if I forget when something is due for a project. That's frustrating. But I would say sort of the organization slash doing all the social media stuff is probably the least enjoyable part. I guess if we were talking, if we're going to limit our discussion to stuff that just revolved around the card making, I think blended. I mean, I think the both Copic coloring and watercoloring, where you're trying to do a technique that requires a lot of patience. I think that is always hard. I'm like, I don't know. I like the immediate gratification of boom, a card is done. Very much. So some of that. I actually enjoy a lot, like that Nutcracker that Elizabeth and I worked on from scrapbook.com. Oh, whoa, that's really crooked. Let's see if we can get this off and not wreck it. That'll be fine. Paper piecing I generally like, but some of the figuring out like how the dies go together sometimes is not my favorite thing. Like especially with any of the like many part dies, I feel like until you put them together a few times, like knowing what goes where and how all the layers work can be complicated. And when I folded these, I did make sure they were all in the same orientation. But here's hoping we don't put one together upside down. But if it happens, it happens. And what we can actually do when we put these together in our final like gift package is we can just look for a ribbon because I own too much of it. This sort of matches. We could go for like either a pink ribbon or something just pastel-y. Or really we could go in the totally opposite direction and go for like a neutral color, which might be nice. I also have like thinking for this, I might go with I have this really cool it's like white ribbon. It's like a standard white ribbon, but it's got like iridescent threads woven in. Hey, Lisa B, how are you? Let me see. Some cutter cards. Hope you all don't have a Christmas rush. I don't know. Like, it's been weird. Every time I've gone to the grocery store, it seemed like there's been a Christmas rush there. I mean, the mall next to me has been nuts for a while. Let's see. Yeah. Um, as I probably have shared with you guys, like now that basically my generation are all kind of in their 40s, like the gift element of Christmas has really been downscaled a lot, which has taken a lot of the, oh my God, I need to get this person a thing out of it, which is really nice. So it's become a lot more about, family and spending time together and all that kind of good stuff, which is great. There we go. So we are a little early, but that's okay. But we basically have 6 cute little thank yous, and then we'll just what we you can do is just make them into a bundle, put the envelopes behind them, and then just wrap some ribbon around it and tie a bow, and it'll look like a very nice little gifty package. And if you're selling these, the original idea was to not put any sentiment on these, just do the first part of this card, and you can just sell these as like pattern paper note cards at whatever price point you want. But anyway, it is. Yeah, I do like that. I like that it's more. I don't know. Low. I don't know if low key is quite the right word, but it's more. It's more about chatting with people than it's more about connecting with people than like having more stuff in your house. I suppose that's true. I just say I have a lot of it because it's like every year I'm like, I know I have Christmas ribbon, and then I can't find it, and then I find it after I buy like whatever was on sale at Michael's, and I'm like, oh well. I mean, it's like I have a but like the ribbon I most like this year is it's like it's not iridescent, but it's like satin white, and it just has gold snowflakes on it because it's very simple, and it's kind of like it feels like a ribbon I could send to someone. I mean, these cards you could do too. Or like if you're not a Christmas person and you got it, like you wouldn't want to like shoot me or anything. So anyway, there's that. Oh, nice. I tend to just I buy craft supplies with the intention of making projects. Hopefully this week, I think we'll catch up on a lot of projects that were on the list of Christmas projects that didn't get done. Um, but it'll be nice to have some time off to work on some of those. Yeah, I think so. That's a good point, Bruce. I always like food related or, food or beverage related gifts because like people can use them up because it's sort of like you never know how I mean like I feel like everybody gets to this point of like not really having much space in their house, so it's like you don't actually need more stuff. But I think I will leave you guys there for tonight. I will keep you posted if I do anything during the week. And as you guys know, Elizabeth is live in 2 hours and Shanna is live in 9 minutes. So you should redirect over to Shanna and I will join you there after I grab a snack. So great chatting with you guys. Hope you have a fantastic Christmas, New Year's, and rest of your week. And although I probably will talk to you all before New Year's, but anyway, great seeing you guys and talk to you later.